Do what they said after they won their gold medal.
Very well said,
To the left, you will see the new cross-country and biathlon courses that were just built to accommodate the 2023 World University Games staged in Lake Placid, will enrich Lake Placid and New York State's Olympic legacy into a second 100-year span. This global event staged over 11 days with 13 different sports competing, involving 600 universities, 60 nations, and a total of 3,000 athletes, delegates, and officials. The event was previously staged in Lake Placid in 1972, and the summer version was staged in Buffalo, New York in 1993.
Hi folks, I'm Alana Myers-Taylor, pilot of the U.S. Women's Bobsled team and 3-time Olympic medal winner. I want to review some of the riding instructions with you. Remember, you are in full control of the ride once you have passed the attendant building at the top. You will be able to control your speed with the brake levers. Simply push the levers to go and pull the levers to slow down or to brake. Keep your eyes forward at all times. Remember, it is your responsibility to slow down and brake for slow or stop riders. Maintain 80 feet between you and the car in front of you. You should increase your distance to 180 feet for wet conditions. There are signs along the uphill ride to assist you in judging 80 feet and 180 feet. Keep your hands and feet inside the car at all times. Pay attention and read instructional signs along the way. If the ride stops for any reason, stay in your cart and await further instructions. Have a great ride!
With the development of Lake Placid as a center for winter sports in the U.S. The bobsled run was constructed in 1930 after Godfrey Dewey was successful in convincing the International Olympic Committee to bring the 1932 Olympics to Lake Placid. Dewey was the son of Lake Placid co-founder Melville Dewey, who founded the Dewey Decimal System in Olympics. After persuading the IOC that Lake Placid could offer facilities equal to the best European sites, Dewey was instrumental in securing funding, identifying event sites, and participating in the design and construction of sports facilities. Of the latter, the bobsled run was considered critical, and Dewey promised the committee a first-class run. Despite America's inexperience with bobsled tracks, Dewey succeeded by securing the service of Stanislaus Zelinsky, a renowned German course designer who designed a course that was radically different from its European counterparts. After the American team won 2 gold medals and 1 silver in 1932 at the bobsled competitions, the sport was previously unknown in America, but now it captivated the country's interest. But now look straight up in front of you at the top of the mountain, Mount Van Hovenberg. Way up there was the original start of the 1932 bobsled competition. The track then was 1.5 miles in length. It was shortened in 1939 to 1 mile. As you get a chance, there's a great trail to the top where you can see the remnants of the old 1932 track, and when you get to the top, a breathtaking view awaits you. If you look to the left, that building is where the start was for the 1980 Winter Olympic Games bobsled competition. On your right is the new bobsled luge and skeleton start buildings built in 1999 for the Winter Goodwill Games. And further right, you will see the ski jumps, Whiteface Mountain, the Olympic Arena downtown Lake Placid, and that's where the greatest moment in sport of the 20th century took place in 1980 when a bunch of USA college hockey players beat the mighty Russians in the famous Miracle on Ice. You might have seen that movie Miracle with Kurt Russell.
Hey, this is Alana again. Remember, keep your seatbelts buckled at all times. You will soon be entering the downhill track. Keep both hands on the brake levers at all times. Push the brake levers forward now and keep them forward until you have passed the attendant building.
Ladies and gentlemen, now get ready for your ride down this historic track. We'll be going over the top of the same track used for both the 1932 and 1980 Winter Olympic Games. Attention. down the long straightaway above curve 1. Taking the curve, approaching curve 2, taking curve 2, through, on the way to cliffside. Approaching cliffside, taking cliffside. Cliffside is a corner combination of 3 through cliffside and on the way to curve 6. Approaching curve 6, taking the curve through, on the long straightaway above curve 7. This is where the sledge really started to accelerate. Approaching 7, taking the curve through 7. Now below us is the straightaway to curve 8.
Holy shit!
Approaching 8, taking the curve through 8, on the way to Big Shady. Taking the big curve at Shady, through, and on the long straightaway above Little S. Shady is one of the most famous curves in the world, and the reason they called it Shady, it always was covered in shades to protect it against the sunlight. The G-forces in that curve were incredible. Approaching Little S. Taking the curve through the S, on the way to curve 12. Taking the curve through 12 and on the way to the world famous zigzag curve. Zigging, sagging. What a change of direction at 75 mile an hour plus. Huge crowds used to be in the zigzag area, and for good reason. Through zigzag and on the way to curve 15. Taking the curve 15 and on the long straightaway above the finish curve.
Holy shit!
And now we're going to enter a 360-degree curve we call a Kreisel. Only 2 Olympic tracks ever had one of these built. Now you're approaching the finish curve, taking the curve through and down. Taking a bobsled ride is called the Champagne of Thrills, and if you like what you just